top of it, top of the morning. I hope you have a great morning. Today we have none other than Oblock Patoon, Oblock Patoon, Oblock Patoon. And I'd be remiss if I didn't say RIP to Oblock Patoon. So RIP to Oblock Patoon. Now, I suggest y'all get y'all coffee in, buckle up. Let's take this ride and hit that subscribe button. If you haven't, thumb up the video. It gets my videos out to new viewers, excuse me, and that's new potential subscribers. So those thumbs up really helps get the video out there. So I appreciate all the support, and all the subscribers that I have so far, man. I appreciate all of you. I've been up a little late, but I definitely wanted to get this in. It's like early morning, but we're gonna get it in. All right. So today we have none other than O Block Platoon. All right, and this is an original police department original case incident report. The incident is at this time a battery aggravated handgun. Occurrence location is 64 Redacted South Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. Drive. The date of occurrence was October 18th, 2011 at 19:55 hours. Victim's name is redacted. So there were obviously a couple of victims here. The first victim listed is redacted, I should say. The demographics for the redacted victim is male black. All right, and the victim listed underneath that victim, name Riley Edward, male black, age 20. All right, and then there are a few witnesses here. 1, 2, 3 witnesses, but their information is redacted. All right, and we have suspects. They are suspecting that there are 2 individual suspects, and the clothing that suspect number 1 wore was a top black hooded sweatshirt, hat, black skull cap. Second individual suspect, hat, black skull cap, top black hooded sweatshirt, and hooded sweatshirt. Okay. All right. Scrolling down, we have an event narrative here. In summary, responding officers responded to a person shot at 6438 South Dr. Martin Luther King Drive. Upon arrival, reporting officers located Edward Riley, the victim, laying unresponsive with a gunshot wound to the head. Edward Riley, victim, was transported to Stroger by EMS attending physician Bakari. Reporting officers also responded to 6 Redacted South King Drive for another person shot. Responding officers located redacted victim who had also suffered a gunshot wound to the head and left hand. Redacted victim was transported to Comer Children's Hospital by EMS 36. Attending physician Tutoy, Area 2 detectives were notified and responded to scene to conduct investigation. And it lists the beat officers that arrived at that scene. Next document we have is an exceptionally cleared open other exceptional document. This document was filed on June 17th, 2020 at 10:21 hours. This is a field investigation exceptionally clear open other exceptional report. Victims Riley Edward, male black, 20. Suspect's name redacted. Description redacted, male black, 26 years. Identified by photos. Listed criminal organization is redacted. Gang identifiers, victim/witness statement. All right. And the victim, Edward Riley, was transported to Cook County Hospital. All right, we're getting down into an investigation. We have the victim listed, a Riley Edward E, in parentheses, Patoon, male 1, 20. Additional victims, aggravated battery, is redacted. Offenders 2, 1 male, 1, 19. Redacted, deceased. So assume one of the offenders is deceased. 2, 1 unknown male black, dressed in all black clothing. listed as victims as opposed to offenders due to auto-populating function within CRIS. Injuries: Riley, multiple gunshot wounds, right and left arms, left side of chest wall, graze wound, upper left chest, upper right chest, left side of head, above left ear, right hip, right wrist, fatal. Redacted gunshot wound TNT, ear and jaw, gunshot wound TNT to left hand. Transported to Riley Stroger Hospital by CFT number 55, pronounced by Dr. Bakari at 22:1700 hours. Alright. Then we have manner and motive. Two offenders approach victims on foot and shoot victims with handgun. Evidence is listed here. You have one size of large pair of black and gray snap on brand work gloves, some work gloves, 8 9mm fired cartridge cases, 4 9mm caliber cartridge cases, one copper fragment, some swab boxes. Right, scroll down. Alright. Oops, a little fast. Witnesses are redacted. We have a Parkway Gardens housing complex, redacted security. Now we have an investigation. Reporting detective is a detective for the Chicago Police Department assigned to Cook County Jail Detective Intelligence Team. Reporting detective, redacted. Reporting detective interview, redacted. Redacted, this incident took place in the Parkway Gardens public housing complex during the fall of 2011. Redacted, kill, redacted. Reporting detectives was able to determine that this homicide was recorded under RD number listed and the victim, redacted, Edward. We have a 2011 investigation. Detectives were assigned this homicide investigation by Sergeant Wright of this command. The detectives were informed that two victims, Edward Riley and redacted, had been shot and transported by CFD for emergency treatment. They were also informed that Riley had been shot at 6 redacted South King Drive and redacted had been shot at 6 redacted South King Drive. It should be noted that these addresses are located in the Parkway Gardens housing complex. The housing complex is comprised of numerous high-rise buildings and low-rise buildings. The complex is surrounded by a wrought iron fence, and its near north border is just south of 63rd Street. The complex's south border is approximately at 65th Street. The east border of the complex is King Drive, and the west border is Calumet. Detectives noticed the entrance to be situated at approximately 64th and King Drive. A security booth is located at the entrance within the property of the complex. The detectives learned that this entrance served as the only vehicular entry and exit to the property. They also noticed that a gate along the Calumet side of the complex could allow persons on foot to enter and exit the property with little difficulty. Upon arriving on the scene, the detectives observed the entrances and exits protected by uniformed officers from the 003rd District. They also observed officers posted throughout the complex to secure the two crime scenes. The detectives met with Sergeant Rail and were escorted to the shooting scenes, which were situated at the buildings to the west of the property. The detectives were informed that Riley had been shot in front of 6438 South King Drive and that redacted had been shot immediately in the vicinity of 6364 King Drive. The detectives noted crime scene tape throughout the complex to restrict pedestrian traffic through locations while still under investigation. Crime scene tape was also used to secure the two crime scenes. The detectives observed 6364 South King Drive to be an 8th floor multi-unit apartment building situated to the furthest west of the housing complex along Calumet Avenue. The front entrance to the building faced north, and the detectives observed a cement pathway leading to the entrance and turning east away and joining another sidewalk which extended along the east property line of the 6364 building. They observed a grass area between the sidewalks and the front of the building, and they also observed multiple expended 9mm cartridge casings on the sidewalk and this grass area. The detectives also observed a blood trail on the sidewalk leading into the entrance of 6364 King Drive. They observed a blood smear along the east wall of the building immediately to the left as one entered the front door. The blood trail continued on the cement floor of the hallway of the building, and the detectives noted that the blood trail continued up the stairwell to the second floor. The detectives further noted blood smears at various points on the wall and the stairwell. The detectives returned to the first floor hallway and observed the blood trail continue along the hallway and through a doorway which gave access to the first floor apartment units. The detectives observed that the blood trail turned right and continued into apartment redacted. Once inside the apartment, they noted that the blood led through the living room to the rear of the apartment where the bedrooms were located, redacted. The detectives walked south along the cement walkway in the complex toward 6348 South King Drive and observed crime scene tape and uniformed officers protecting the walkway and the front of 6438 South King Drive. They observed the apartment building to be a low-rise structure comprised of 3 floors. They were informed that the bushes in the front of the building immediately to the north of the front entrance to be the location where Riley had collapsed after being shot. They observed 7 expended 9mm cartridge casings between the bushes in front of the building and cement walkway directly to the east. The detectives ensured that the mobile crime lab was notified and BT 5802 responded to the scene. Once there, BT 5802 videotaped and photographed the scene and recovered items of evidentiary value. The detectives canvassed the building surrounding both crime scenes for possible witnesses to the shooting. A summary of the canvass results indicated through witness accounts redacted was the first subject shot by the offenders, who then moved south and shot Riley. Detectives Otto and Sullivan relocated to Comer's Hospital at the University of Chicago. Redacted. Redacted sustained a through-and-through shot wound to the ear and jaw and to the thumb on the redacted left hand. The detectives went to Stroger Hospital and examined Riley's remains. They noted a gunshot wound to the left side of his head just above the ear. They also observed Riley to have sustained multiple gunshot wounds to his chest, arms, and legs. Riley was pronounced at 22:17 hours by Dr. Peets at Stroger Hospital. On May 21, 2013, detectives were assigned to conduct a follow-up investigation by Sergeant Rajnikov of this command. The detectives reviewed this investigative file and noted an Illinois State Police IBIS case-to-case association from ISP examiner Kurt Murray received on May 21, 2013. The association was a comparison between the homicide of Edward Riley and an aggravated battery recorded under RD number listed. The results of the comparison revealed all of the cartridge cases in exhibits number 6, 7, and 8, exhibits number 1, and exhibits number 3, all were fired in the same 9mm firearm. Detectives reviewed the investigative file recorded under RD number listed and learned that victim Edward Riley had succumbed to his injuries. Detectives also learned redacted a surviving victim from this incident, redacted. Detectives reviewed the investigative file recorded under RD number listed and redacted the investigation. The detectives reviewed the investigative file recorded under RD number listed, and we have redaction. Detectives learned that RD number listed, redactions. On June 11, 2014, Detective Eber was assigned to conduct a lab follow-up regarding an IBIS case-to-case association through normal handout procedures. IBIS case-to-case association associated cartridge cases from an aggravated battery incident to the cartridge cases from this homicide incident recorded under RD number listed. A lab report and an ISP examiner findings were previously submitted for this case on May 21, 2013 by Detective Crane, assigned to Unit 610. A lab report and ISP examiner findings for associated case RD number listed was previously submitted by detectives. That case is currently suspended pending victim cooperation. Detective Ebro documented the case-to-case association of aggravated battery, RD number listed, and homicide RD number listed. None of these cases provided any leads regarding this investigation. Investigation 2018 to present. On redacted while assigned to the Cook County Jail Intelligence Team, reporting detective interview redacted. Individual redacted. Edward Wiley redacted. Oh, excuse me. This should be redacted. The murder of an individual redacted. Edward Riley. Then redaction after that. And picking up on the next page, we have some redaction. We'll start at and I clear photo of redaction under CB number redacted and redacted positively identified the individual. Redaction block. Redacted had nothing else to add and the interview was terminated. On redacted, reporting detectives interviewed. Redaction block. Shoot and kill Edward Riley. Redacted. Reporting detective showed redacted a photo of redacted under CB number redacted, positively identified the individual in the photograph as redaction. On redacted, reporting detectives discovered redacted, reporting detectives interviewed redacted, the subject of the Edward Riley murder came up, redacted. On redacted, reporting detectives telephonically contacted redacted, would have redacted give reporting detectives a call. Later in the day, reporting detectives received a call from redacted via telephone number, then the redaction block. Redacted had nothing else to add and the interview was terminated. On April 25th, 2020, reporting detectives met redacted. Reporting detective was introduced to redacted, had nothing further to add and the interview was terminated. On May 15, 2020, reporting detectives made contact with Parkway Gardens Director of Security. Reporting detectives asked redacted if he was familiar. Let's do April 25th, 2020, reporting detectives met redacted. Reporting detective was introduced to redacted. Redacted had nothing further to add and the interview was terminated. On May 15, 2020, reporting detective made contact with Parkway Garden Director of Security. Redacted at 6 Redacted South Calumet. Reporting detective asked if he was familiar with redacted and he stated that he was. Using the computer surveillance system in the office, redacted. Reporting detectives asked redacted. On May 19th, 2020, reporting detectives located redacted listed as a person to be interviewed, but there was no information regarding what type of condition redacted could possibly make to this investigation. Contribution, not condition. It reads, start here. There was no information regarding what type of contribution redacted could possibly make to this investigation. Redacted. And we pick up, in conclusion, it is to the contention of the reporting detective that that this investigation has proven to the satisfaction of the Chicago Police Department that on October 18th, 2011, redacted is one of the individuals who shot and killed Edward Riley at 6438 South Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. Drive. Based on these facts, reporting detectives request that this case be exceptionally clear open due to the death of the offender. We have a case supplementary report for a method CAU code document. This document was submitted October 19, 2011 at 06:50 hours. And we just list the victims. We're going to scroll down to get to an investigation potentially. Alright, and our next document is a reclassified document. And the original offense and classification was battery, aggravated handgun. The last offense, or the reclassification, is now a homicide / first degree murder. Alright, and this document was submitted October 20th, 2011 at 08:20 hours. We have a progress violent scene document here, and It was submitted November 27, 2011, 22:20 100 hours. You know pretty much this information here, and feel free to pause at any time to go back and see anything I might have went past. All right, we're in an investigation. We have the victim listed. We have additional victims who are redacted. We have wanted two male dressed in all black, dark clothing. We have the victim's injuries listed here, which we read above. The manner and motive, and all the inventory they have for the case, for the crime scene. So all the personnel on the case. Seems there are witness redactions to be interviewed is redacted. The reporting detectives were assigned this homicide investigation by Sergeant Wright of this command. The reporting detectives were informed that the two victims, Edward Riley and Redacted, had been shot and transported by CFD for emergency treatment. The reporting detectives were also informed that Riley had been shot at 6438 South King Drive and Redacted had been shot at 6364 South King Drive. It should be noted that these addresses are located in the Parkway Gardens housing complex. The housing complex is comprised of numerous high-rise buildings and low-rise buildings. The complex is surrounded by an wrought iron fence, and its north border is just south of 63rd Street. The complex's south border is approximately at 65th Street. The east border of the complex is King Drive, and the west border is Calumet. Alright, which we pretty much read this above. Crime scene tape, okay. Right. The reporting detectives observed 6364 South King Drive to be an 8-floor multi-unit building. Right, and this is when they found the blood trail. Reporting detectives observed a blood smear along the east wall of the building, immediately to the left as one entered the front door. The blood trail continued on the cement floor of the hallway of the building, and reporting detectives noted that the blood trail continued up the stairwell to the second floor. The reporting detectives further noted blood smears at various points on the wall in the stairwell. The reporting detectives returned to the first floor hallway and observed the blood trail continued through the hallway and through a doorway which one could access from the first floor apartment units. The reporting detectives observed that the blood trail turned right and continued into apartment redacted. Once inside the apartment, reporting detectives noted that the blood led through the living room to the rear of the apartment where the bedrooms were located. Alright. We read that pretty much. Alright. This investigation remains in progress. And we have a progress report here that was submitted on November 5th, 2013. See if we can get to an investigation. This is an Area Central Detective Division supplementary report. Some additional case links and an investigation. The reporting detectives was assigned to the follow-up homicide investigation recorded under RD number listed by Sergeant Reg Advocate of this command. Reporting detectives reviewed this, alright, and okay, yep, they did the case-to-case association. Alright, we read that above earlier. This case remains suspended pending further contact and or the arrest of the offenders. Alright, so they reviewed investigative files for the additional case links. We have some lab follow-up here that is dated, submitted on June 17, 2014, 1756. All right, excuse me. And pretty much they're making procedures, IBIS case to case, associated cartridge cages from an aggravated battery incident. So they're linking the bullets to other cases. A lab report and an ISP examiner findings were previously submitted for this case on May 21st, 2013 by Detective Crane. This case remains open. All right, we have a case supplementary report. This is a progress report, and it seems to be a reclassification, original offense classification, battery/aggravated handgun, reclassification, offense, homicide, first degree murder. Number of victims 1, number of offenders 2. This was submitted on March 14th, 2015 at 20:32 hours. All right. Let's scroll down to an investigation. Right. And a list of victim. On March 14, 2015, a reporting detective located and viewed the video footage from CPD pod camera number 043. The 2 video DVDs from pod number 043 contain video footage from the time frame of 1940 hours to 2040 hours on October 18, 2011. The homicide of Edward Riley occurred at 1955 hours at 6 redacted South Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. Drive. The video shows police response to the incident at 1958 hours and does not provide anything else of evidentiary value. These 2 DVDs were inventoried under CPD inventory number listed. Report of Detective Eberl, Detective Division, Area South. And that takes us down to the end. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Definitely hit that subscribe button because I will be dropping more. Peace.